Well, hey there, American Farmsteadhers. This is Donna with Hazel Bell Farm.
And Jenny with the Gramstead Family Farm.
And we are coming to you from Northeast Florida as two American farmsteaders doing our best to grow our own food and share our experiences with you in hopes that you will grow a little food of your own.
Yes, and growing food, that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
It is time to start thinking about flipping the summer garden into our fall and winter garden.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention real quick before we get into the conversation, we are going to be taking a little break, going to take a little vacation. So normally we air every Friday, and so July 14th, which is next week, we will not be airing an episode. So y'all can check out the archives and find a good episode to listen to that you haven't heard. And we'll be back the following week.
Yeah, we were growing food this time last year too.
Yeah.
So you'll find it on your podcast provider.
That's right. So, it is almost mid-July.
Right.
So it's time to start planning for fall and winter garden. Going to be starting some seeds.
Do you let any of your beds rest? I'm just going to get right into it.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that the other day. I cleaned out one of my raised beds, and I was going to go ahead and cover it.
Right.
And just let it stay covered, even if it only gets a handful of weeks being covered, and then freshen it up with compost. That's another thing that I'm working on right now is starting a new pile.
Yeah.
That way I have enough to go around. So
yeah, I'm going to gamble.
Yeah.
I am going to scoop up some cow manure.
Yeah.
So if you have followed us for any amount of time, you know we like to talk about compost.
Yeah.
And we used to compost cow manure, as I've talked about in the past. And then we had a graze on contamination and lost a garden.
Yeah.
And a whole growing season. It happened to be a year that we were moving, so it turned out to be not a big deal. But and I learned a lot. And so if I had to pick a year to lose a garden, it would have been that year. Yeah, it was good. So since then, we stopped composting our cow manure.
Yeah.
For the garden.
Yeah.
And so we just drag our fields. Our fields need it anyways. Well, something I've noticed, because we buy in a lot of hay, right?
Yeah.
And that's where that contamination comes from, is we buy hay, the cows eat it, it passes through.
It's been sprayed.
Right. Cows don't absorb that herbicide, the graze on herbicide. It passes right through the rumen and out with the manure, and it's okay for our fields that we're growing grass on. The grass is not affected by it. But everything else that you want, the broadleaf things that you pretty much what your garden is made up of, is affected by it. And so I've noticed, though, those soda apple plants are coming up like crazy.
They are coming up with crazy, and those are in the same family as what would be affected by graze on contamination.
Yeah. That's something.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try some cow manure compost. And add it to the bulk that I've been working on, which is just really static right now. It's like growing stuff like crazy. It's actually, and the grass around my compost pile is tall and thick and green. We've had 2 weeks of nonstop rain. Right. But there's so much grass around it. So my rabbits are eating it, which is great. They're adding their manure to it. But I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna compost some cow manure.
Put some tester beans in it.
Put some test beans in it. Yes, I won't put anything in my beds without testing it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that, because I hadn't said it yet, but I was going to get to it. And then if it's good, we'll add that to our beds.
And so I think they say that by the second or the third set of leaves on the green beans,
it's pretty fast.
If those are looking normal, you should be good to go. But if you're seeing any type of deformity on the leaves, if they just don't look like they should, it's contaminated.
Yeah, so your green beans, because they're so fast growing, you're able to see that pretty quickly. And they're so, what's the word? Susceptible.
Yeah.
I guess they're so susceptible to that contamination, where like your tomatoes and other things, they'll get to a certain height and it kind of tricks you. Like you think they're okay. And I've seen it a couple of times actually, but you'll think you're doing great, you're growing food, and then all of the sudden you're 6 weeks
turn
in.
ugly.
Yeah. Well, like by then you're almost to fruiting, right? You're halfway to fruiting.
Right, because they're usually, 2 or 3 feet tall by the time they start to turn.
Yeah, and then they just get funky, gnarly kind of leaves and stems and you're like, what did I do? I was doing so great. What happened? So yeah, we'll test with beans before we put anything out, but I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
And try to use what we have, which we're all about. Mm-hmm. So save $1.
Yeah.
Or 400. Good compost is expensive.
Good compost is expensive. And I, a long time ago, listened to some advice that I heard about compost. And I don't know that it was necessarily good advice. I heard somebody once say that you should rely on store-bought compost because it's going to be more reliable as far as nutrients go. And I bought in compost for years in my garden and had really iffy results, nothing really fantastic until I made my own compost. When I started doing my own compost, that's when I really started to see that these plants love that compost. So
interesting.
I just don't think that was very good advice. So
I don't like anybody to tell me to rely on anything or anybody. I don't want to rely on anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of homesteading is about quote unquote self-reliance. Now, I don't want to rely on myself either. Like there's community, like we've talked about, and faith and that kind of stuff. But I don't want to be at the mercy of the compost makers or the grocery store.
Absolutely not. And, when it comes down to homemade compost, exactly what went into that pile. You don't know what went into the bag compost. And if you're really questioning on whether or not your homemade compost is going to be reliable, test it.
Right.
Get a little NPK test and run it on it, and you'll know.
Yeah.
It would be really interesting to do like a side-by-side comparison test of like store-bought compost and homemade compost.
And, what you're making from vegetation or kitchen scraps versus what you're making from manures. Like that would be a fun little science experiment.
It would be. Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah, you could really essentially test like every pile that you did because every pile is different.
Oh,
you can make compost out of so many different materials, and it really comes down to what's available seasonally that you can use to make the compost. So they all come out different.
So on that note, and as we're talking about flipping our beds over to the next season, and refreshing them with compost.
Yes.
One thing I'm going to add in is some things to grow just for the purpose of compost and mulch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like canna lilies.
Canna lilies. That's
that what
exactly what I was thinking, but I couldn't remember the name of it.
Well, they're beautiful.
They are.
And they have great big leaves. That's a lot of biomass to add in. So that's something to think about.
Banana tree.
Banana trees. Yeah, same thing. Nice big leaf.
Yep. Yep. So what else am I regularly putting in there?
You have a landscape, something by your house.
Yes. I have this big like tropical plant that grows like
a giant frilly leaf.
It's an insane amount of growth that we get out of this plant every year. And so, it makes this giant leaf. And so I've been cutting those and put them in the compost. Really, like I said, like whatever is available.
Yeah. You could do it just with your yard grass clippings. We don't because we don't have lush, thick grass on our sand hill. But if I did, I certainly would.
Yeah. I just shelled a bunch of zipper peas and saved the shells for a brown component to add to the compost
That's
pile.
a great idea.
And I went through and I pruned all my tomatoes the other day because I said I was going to refresh my tomatoes with some compost to kind of try to push them a little bit more. And I did. And I pruned them up really good. Refreshed them with compost, and it rained that night. And by the next day, I could see a difference.
Really?
It was like, ooh, they liked that.
Are you spraying them with compost tea at all, or you're just side dressing?
I'm going to tell you what. This year in my garden, I have sprayed my garden twice. once with BT, and then once I went around with, I bought this molasses, plant food molasses. I went around and sprayed with that once and did my cucumbers a couple of times with BT. But other than that, I haven't had to spray for bugs. I haven't had to spray for disease or fungus or anything like that.
I haven't sprayed a lot either. But I also do have a lot of disease happening right now.
Do you?
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, my tomatoes are blighty. I mean, I mentioned it before. We've got powdery mildew and blight. And
I didn't keep all my tomatoes in the ground. I pulled the ones that were just looking a little bit more spent. So I pulled about half of my indeterminate. And then my determinate tomatoes are still pumping out tomatoes like crazy.
Yeah, and it's my indeterminates that look really bad. I just haven't gotten in there to pull them out.
Yeah.
But I honestly, like, they look better than they would have in years past had I not sprayed anything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've gone from having to spray something every week at least, right? Whether it be a fertilizer or a pest control measure. Every single week I've got to spray something at least once a week. To this year, I've really only sprayed 2, maybe 3 times. I mean, I used that Repel-Sol. I was doing that to keep the deer off of my peanuts, which I caught a giant rabbit in there.
Are you serious?
Like 3 days ago.
Speaking of peanuts, my 2 rows of peanuts are going crazy.
They like this rain.
I had a volunteer tomato pop up in the middle of my peanut row, and it wasn't really doing anything and was looking a little wimpy. So I pulled it the other day. And when I pulled it up, I really wasn't being super careful and ended up pulling up a little section of my peanuts. And I've never grown peanuts before.
It's so
and
fun.
I about died when I saw them come up. I was like, oh my gosh, there's actual peanuts. I'm like, Tori, look, there's actual peanuts.
It's like, do you remember the first time you grew carrots or potatoes? It's the underground stuff.
The underground stuff is so fun to pull.
It is.
I looked at my days on my peanuts, and I think we still have at least maybe 30 days before they are going to start to be ready. So I'm not going to pull any more. But, I mean, I had a couple of, like, really big ones. So I'm excited.
Cool. It is fun.
You know, and it's like one of those things, you know, when you grow and you have some success, and it always happens like the first time you ever grow it. You're like, I'm going to plow a whole field out front and we're going to grow
an acre of peanuts.
Right. And then do what with them?
Yeah. We do love boiled peanuts here.
Yeah. Well, and that's like such a thing in the South. Like, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe they would sell.
Yeah, I'm not interested in selling them, but I am interested in canning them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I didn't can any last year. We ate them. I mean, I grew enough to make like 2 decent sized pots we probably had like 2 gallons of boiled peanuts, 2 different times.
So I wonder if you can like make the boiled peanuts and then just can the final product. Is that what you would do?
I don't know. Or do you just process them in... Yeah, I know. I think you'd have to do it like you said. I don't think you'd process it just in the jar because it would take too long.
Okay.
Because I did them in my Instant Pot, which shaved off a bunch of time, and I don't remember exactly how long it was. I want to say it was like 2 hours in the Instant Pot. So, yeah, it was a long time. It was a real long time.
Wow.
And it was full, and I just covered them with, like, I rinsed them because they're dirty.
Right.
Covered them with water and added like a cup of salt. It was a lot of salt. And then 2 hours, I think. I have to check to be sure, but they came out so good.
My thought is if you're going to can them afterwards, would you maybe slightly undercook them?
Maybe so.
On the first process. That way when you run them through your canner, they're not like complete mush. That might be really fun to have canned boiled peanuts on the shelf.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to hide them.
We got to do that this year.
Yeah, at least try it out. And
try it out. See how it works.
Yeah. A lot of people ask me, what are you going to do with those? Are you going to make peanut butter? Like, no. Do you know how many peanuts it takes to make peanut butter? Like any nut butter, it probably isn't designed to be eaten that way for a reason. Like it's so calorie dense, right?
It's like making tomato paste.
Yes.
You need like 5,000 tomatoes to make.
That one time we made tomato paste, we said we're never doing this again.
I made it once and was like, I don't know. It cost 79 cents to buy at the store.
Right.
And for right now, by golly, I'm going to buy my tomato paste at the store. Because the time that it took to make it and the amount of tomatoes, it was
The
like,
amount, yeah. I can't grow enough tomatoes to cover the tomato paste that we go through.
No, never.
No.
Well, speaking of tomatoes, since we're coming up here on mid-July, if we're going to be doing fall and winter tomatoes, it's time to start seeds.
Yes, it is. So we're starting seeds now.
Yeah.
So get all of your containers cleaned out and ready to go and your potting soil. And you could start them outside. I think personally, my opinion is that the environment is too harsh for them right now as seedlings.
Yeah, I mean, in Florida, at least, you know, it's nearing 100 degrees. We've got 100-degree days happening very soon. So I can't see having them outside just yet.
And it's very, very wet.
Yeah.
So, the air is wet. So I would start those inside. So you want to make sure you've got your grow lights and all of that going. A lot of things in the fall, I do just start outside. And those tomatoes, once they get going, I'll move them out before they go into their beds and let them spend some time, you know, on the screened porch kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what will happen with mine. Once I'm at the stage where I need to pot up, they are moving out of my laundry room and going on my back porch, which is covered. So they won't get a whole lot of sun on the back porch.
No, but you could put them out in the mornings.
Yeah.
Or, you know, in the late, close to evening, afternoon.
Yeah.
As long as they don't get drenched in an afternoon downpour like Florida likes to have.
Right.
So, tomatoes and anything in that same nightshade family for that matter. If you're looking for fall peppers, you want to start those now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not doing that. They're not on my list.
No, I won't start any additional peppers for fall and winter because the peppers that I have going right now, I mean, they're being a little slow to ripen. Like I haven't even begun to harvest. So
Really?
I mean, I've been harvesting like a pepper or two here and there, like my banana peppers. I've picked a couple of serranos, my sweetie drop peppers. Oh my goodness. They are my new favorite pepper. The plants are like super small.
That's a sweet and spicy, right?
It's, you know what? It's weird because these peppers are really little and you eat the whole pepper and as soon as you bite into it, you think, oh, wow, this might be a hot pepper, but it never gets spicy, but the flavor is so good on these peppers. They're sweet and it tricks you. It's like it's going to be spicy, but it's not. So they're really good. And I've only been picking like a pepper or two off the plants, but the plants are loaded with green peppers.
Yum.
So I'm just waiting on those to ripen. My Florida wild growth peppers are just now really starting to fill in. And I mean, they are covered. I'm talking thousands of peppers.
Wow.
I'm not exaggerating either.
Wow.
Especially the wild grove ones. They are everywhere on that plant.
That's cool.
Well, and then I have like 6 plants. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of peppers. But that's okay because I had a lot of tomatoes. So Rotel is on.
Yes.
Homemade Rotel is on the agenda. So I'm just waiting on the peppers.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I don't need any peppers.
I'm not planting any either, but if you want peppers in the fall and you're not having a great summer crop yet, then you want to start those seeds now. You want to start them like yesterday.
Yeah, peppers take forever.
They do take forever, and they like the heat. So, and then something else to keep in mind, a kind of like a con of a fall garden, if you're trying to grow heat-loving stuff in the fall, you know, the days are getting shorter.
Yeah.
And the plants, they're not adapted to that so much. Like I can grow jalapenos in the fall, but they'll do better in the spring.
In the summer, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when the days are getting longer, those plants really thrive. So that's something to keep in mind. Like, especially when you're thinking of how many hours of sunlight is your garden getting.
Right.
So now in Florida, we can get away with less, right? 4 hours is like
That's full sun.
Yeah.
That's full sun in Florida.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah. So bed flipping,
Yeah.
because my cucumbers are definitely done. My squash and zucchini, that's done. I pulled out about half the tomatoes, so I've got some space there. So really at this point, it's about getting those beds cleaned out, pulling any weeds that you find. And if you think you have enough time, maybe cover them.
Yeah. I'm not going to cover any, I don't think yet. Yet. I think I'm going to plant everything I'm going to go heavy on the legumes, like black-eyed peas and stuff. Because this is when I plant them anyways. But this is the first time that I've had this size garden.
Right.
So some of them I think I'm going to let go to seed. And some of them I'm not. And then I'll cover them.
Yeah.
And just use them to help build soil.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I mean, so the alternative to like covering your bed, say with like a piece of fabric, is planting a cover crop.
A cover crop, right.
Yeah. Planting a cover crop. And a lot of these legumes, are great for that. You can seed them like super heavy and pull them just as they're ready to flower. I shouldn't say pull them. Pull them is the wrong thing to say. As soon as they're ready to flower, you can chop and drop them.
Cut them. Yeah.
Cut them. Yeah. Cut them. Leave those roots in the soil and just drop that vegetation right where it is and let that kind of break down.
Yeah. And then get it ready for new planting. So are you starting seeds of anything else besides tomatoes?
Absolutely.
I mean, like starting seeds to transplant later.
I am.
Because I'm going to direct sow a bunch of stuff. That's why I ask.
No, I mean, I will go ahead and start broccoli up at the house. Broccoli, cabbage.
Yeah, your cold stuff.
Yeah, the cold stuff. Bok choy, I will just direct sow. I really love bok choy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done good for us. What else will I do up at the house? I think that's about it.
Yeah,
honestly.
I will start. Yeah, I wasn't thinking the cold stuff. I was still on the
On
warm
the summer,
stuff.
fall stuff. Yeah. No. Well, I don't know. Maybe cucumbers. Fall is a great time to grow cucumbers, especially in Florida, because it's still super hot, but not quite as hot. So I think that the cucumbers tolerate the fall temperatures a little bit better.
Yeah.
And you might not have quite the fungus and blight issues that you do in the summertime.
We start to get a little bit drier evenings. The nights aren't as wet.
Yeah.
Or there's not so much condensation like with radiant heat during the day and then cooler at night. It's not as bad. One thing that I want to tell people, no matter where you are, is to figure out when your first frost date is, your estimated first frost. So you can go to almanac.com. And what I figured out, you put in your zip code, is they are actually giving you your estimated first freeze date, which is not the same.
Okay.
So for us here in Florida, and really where we are in our microclimate, I always figure our first estimated frost is middle of November. Not necessarily. It's an estimate. It's an average. Like we could go end of November.
Right.
Could go into December. It just depends on the year.
Yeah.
Right. But then we have a freeze in December.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're giving me is I think December 15th. Yeah. So if you can get through that first frost, usually you have a couple more weeks, 3 to 4 weeks of warmth again, where it's back up into the 80s and 90s almost, and those warm weather things will do just fine until you have a freeze. And, that's when my tomatoes are done is that first freeze.
Yeah.
But you can protect from frost and get them through, like I said. So do that and then figure out how many days you have left. So where we are right now, we have about 130 days before that first
frost.
Yes, before that first frost.
Okay. So yeah, and then you can basically,
cucumbers, like you said, like you only need, depending on the variety, 50 to 70 days to get fruit.
Yeah.
So that's all kinds of time.
Yeah. I really focused on succession sowing the cucumbers this summer, and that worked out really well. So I want to try to do that again in the fall.
Yeah.
Every couple of weeks, maybe just put in a few even, like
I like the idea of once a week starting a new seed.
Nice.
Or a new spade. Like I'm going to do 5 seeds over here, and then and it's going to be cucumbers. And the next week I'm going to do some squash.
Right.
And then the next week cucumbers again.
Yeah.
So every 2 weeks maybe.
What kind of squash are you going to grow for fall? What are you going to do?
Same old yellow squash and patty pans probably. I didn't do any patty pans yet this year, so we probably will do some of those. And then actually in August I will direct now and August. I want to do it now. Actually, I've done July, some winter squashes and pumpkins. But I actually have in my notes from last year, I did those in August where I did pumpkins. I can tell you everything I did in August: pumpkins, cucumbers, southern peas, roselle, peppers, tomatoes, melons, and corn.
Wow.
I didn't do corn successfully, but
no, I've only tried corn maybe twice. And
I actually don't think I planted corn last year.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I didn't do a big enough patch when I did it, because I didn't know it, and so I thought, well, I could do just 3 little rows, and the rows were only like maybe 10 feet long, and I just don't think it was enough.
To pollinate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It needs a block usually. I wrote corn down, but
and then
I don't
the
think I
worms.
planted it. The worms, yeah. The worms is always the issue with corn for me too.
Yeah.
I think for everybody. But yeah, so those are all the August things. But I'll do spaghetti squash. I'll do butternut squash. I'll do some Seminole pumpkins, which is really, it's kind of a butternut.
Yeah, mine's starting to flower, the Seminole pumpkins that I have in right now.
Yeah.
So,
That's good.
I'm excited about that. Those were so good.
Yeah, those again, depending on how many days you have left, but we definitely have time to sow those now.
Yeah.
Some of them are as little as 100 days. So,
Yeah.
but some of them are like 160 days.
Yeah.
So.
And fall potatoes, we got to do that.
Jenny, and I thought about that this morning.
Yeah, and so I looked around for varieties. I wanted to try to stick with the same variety I did in the spring, summer, which was the red Pontiacs. And so I searched around online, and a lot of places that sell seed potatoes were sold out of the red Pontiacs.
They always say sold out.
Right, they always say sold out. But you know where I found them? On Amazon.
I wonder if they're any good.
I know. I was like,
So my red Pontiacs that we harvested in the spring, I cooked last night scallop potatoes, and I took out too many potatoes for the dish. So I was cleaning up this morning and went to put them back in the bin. And some of them are sprouting already. So I'm wondering, obviously I need to get them canned up because they don't store very well.
yeah.
Should I try to just throw them in dirt now? Or should I pick the eyes off and try to buy some more time until it's a little cooler? I don't know.
I think the red Pontiacs are like 110 days, or are they 90?
No, they're like 60.
No, they're not.
Yeah, 90, maybe 90.
I think I did 90 on mine. We'll have to look it up.
Written down, yeah. I feel like it's 60 days. No?
No.
Because I usually plant them in February, March, April. Yeah, okay, so I think 75.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like middle of May.
Okay. Once the beds get cleaned out, cover them with compost. If you can get a good couple inches of compost down on your beds, or, if you don't have access to that and you want to throw down a fertilizer, throw down a fertilizer. If that's what you want to do and it's going to grow your food, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong.
No.
Yeah. When do you put out your cold weather stuff?
Actually, I have that written down. I was planting, last year I planted in January and February for an early April harvest.
So when did you start those seeds?
That I do not have written down. I can't write everything down.
What do you expect of me? I'm keeping people alive. I'm making the food and the compost. Okay, I'm just curious.
No. Hold on.
Maybe you can do it all, Wonder Woman.
Actually, in 2020, in January. I started tomatoes inside in January, but that would have been for spring.
Yeah.
And then, and that would have been for spring too. Never mind, those are my spring notes.
Okay. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so I use Clyde's garden planner a lot too. Not completely, because you can't use anybody's guide to anything completely.
Right, because
every family is different. Every microclimate is different. Florida, like we've said a million times before, is like growing nowhere else.
Yeah.
So it's really neat, like on a sliding scale, you move it over to your estimated first frost date it has a fall side and a spring side. So if I put my estimated first frost date at November 15th, it's telling me to start indoors cauliflower and broccoli things July 12th, 19th, and 26th.
Yeah, so that's like now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like now is the time to start the seeds.
Yeah, but then it also says last planting is end of August. And then it has, with a caveat, protect from heat. I don't feel like that's going to be accurate for Florida.
I don't think I'll be putting out like broccoli and stuff like that.
It's just going to bolt.
In the August garden. Largely in the month of August where we're at, we're not in the garden.
No.
We're not in the garden in August.
No.
It's not. That for me is going to be the time where my cover crop is growing or my beds are covered and resting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or I'm good. That's when I get, like your peppers are going.
Yeah.
Those grow fine. And then...
really the only thing I could even imagine sowing in August that I was going to eat would be like zipper peas or purple hulls.
Southern peas and okra.
Yeah, and
That's
okra.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okra is another one I looked at. It's 50 to 65 days. Mm-hmm. So you can do those now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind actually doing some more okra. I have some, and it's just now starting to do okay. I'm picking only 3 or 4 at a time though, but I only have 4 plants, but I still feel like I should be getting more.
Well, I told you what happened with my
okra
little. Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago with the sunflower issue.
Yeah, these are the smallest okra plants I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. Yeah, mine are too.
They're not even 2 foot tall.
Right.
They're short.
Normally by this time, what are we? July? Yeah. So I'm thinking back to last year, and we had our oldest son graduated from high school last year. And so we had a lot of family here who wanted to tour the garden.
Right.
So that was end of May, right? Yeah, that was the end of May. And we had okra plants. And I remember my sister-in-law commenting on, look how tall these plants are. This is how tall our okra is going to get. And they were like shoulder height to me.
Yeah.
So, no, I have none of that.
No.
They're not even knee height.
Mine aren't either. So I'll pick 1 okra off of each plant.
Yeah, but I just thought it was me because of my whole sunflower debacle.
Well, but mine are right next to sunflowers too.
Oh, okay. So we do.
Sunflowers are the next row over.
They don't like him.
Yeah.
They're not friends. Not a good companion planting.
No. We should write that down.
I'll never forget it because it's, it's experience.
Yeah, it is.
So another thing I really wanted to mention are collards. So people grow collards in the spring. I do not. Collards are best enjoyed once the frost has hit their leaves. Mm-hmm. So that means if you count back days, they take 10 to 12 weeks. You want to sow them 10 to 12 weeks before your first frost. Mm-hmm. So what is that? If our first frost is in November?
10 to 12 weeks before.
Mm-hmm. October. I can't do months backwards. August or September, October, August. So August, do them now? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I actually kept collards all summer. My collards are beautiful, but
do they taste good?
They're from, I haven't really picked any recently, but the plants are beautiful. I had them in between my tomatoes and with my marigolds. And so they're from the fall winter garden, and I just left them and they're beautiful. So It's weird because it's hot.
Well, so I have a cabbage that I call a perennial cabbage. So I put it in the ground before winter. It's been through 2 winters. So it's these new beds.
Yeah.
Right. So it grew. I harvested the cabbage. And what I started doing is when I harvest a cabbage and I leave the plant, because you get these like little baby cabbages sometimes, not all the time. It depends on variety, depends on conditions, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes I get like 4 little baby cabbages off of the same plant. And that's enough to feed our family again.
Yeah.
Right. So they're like little personal sized. They're so cute. And they're kind of loose, but like it gets the job done. It feeds us. So I left some, and they didn't do that. Instead, they kind of like spread, like almost like not a vine, but like the stalk grew along the ground.
Okay.
And it put up little tiny heads last winter when it got cold again. So it did that in the summer. It just kind of limped along. It stayed alive. I left it as a trap crop because the aphids liked it.
Yeah.
And I grew, I had shishito peppers in that bed. And so the peppers did great, and the cabbage took the aphids. I never really treated it. I never really did anything with it, but I never pulled it out either. And so I left it. In the wintertime, it started growing new heads along that stalk. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So I left it again.
Yeah.
We actually harvested some, like it never really headed up.
Yeah.
It just kind of, they were loose. It was like before a cabbage starts to head up. Left it alone. Well, here we are in the heat again. And there's like 6, it looks like 6 cabbage plants. It's spilled out into the walkway. And I'm just like, you go, baby.
Right.
I don't know what's going to happen with it.
Right.
But it's alive.
Right.
And so I don't know. I don't know if maybe I should cut some of it back when it gets cold again.
Well, and that's my plan with my collards. And I have some kale that still looks really, really good. And so I've just been leaving it alone. And once it starts to cool off a little bit, I'll probably cut it back and let it regrow and then, start harvesting that stuff.
Yeah. I know what you can start right now. I just thought about
What?
when you said something. I don't know. Anyways, celery. You can seed celery now.
Okay.
And then put it out when it starts to get cooler. And it likes the winter.
Does it take a while?
It does. It takes forever.
It's really puny when it starts too, isn't it? Yeah. Stuff like that is so tricky for me.
I know, me too. Me too. Like onions. Oh, that's what we need to talk.
Onions.
Also, onions,
Yes.
garlic, leeks.
Yes, like I actually want to do elephant garlic. Like I want to grow garlic. And I said it last year and we didn't do it.
I grew garlic. I mean, I put garlic in the ground, but it didn't grow. And so I've done elephant garlic in the past.
Yeah.
And it did great.
Yeah.
And so this time I was like, no, I want true garlic.
Right.
It's not. I want real garlic. And I, researched varieties put out by the University of Florida.
Nothing.
No, it rotted in the ground.
Yeah.
And so, there's still some plants alive, but they have like 3 leaves to them. There's nothing to them.
Yeah.
So I've just left them alone. And then I just plan to just go back to elephant garlic because I know I can do it.
Right. You know that's going to grow.
Yeah. So I'll put that in this year.
Yeah.
And you want to put your onions in. When do we plant our onions? Like October? November?
Gosh, all these hard questions.
I know. I'm sorry. We have notes, but they're like everywhere. Onions, potatoes, garlic. I have all for October, November. So for us.
That sounds about right because then we're pulling them come April, May.
Yeah. So that's zone 8B, 9A.
Yeah.
And when you're ordering onions, make sure you get those short date onions if you grow them over winter like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So those beds have to be prepped pretty soon.
Yeah.
And then you really have to dedicate that's one of the things that I've grown onions like throughout the garden before. This last year, I put them all in one space, in one bed, and I was much happier with that.
Yeah.
Even though it's a monocrop and all that.
Right. Yeah, no, I had mine, I had 3 different areas of onions, but they were big like groupings, like you said, instead of like sprinkled everywhere.
Yeah.
Because that's not really something that you want to sprinkle everywhere, because when you start looking at like crop rotation, onions matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like pulling them too. When you pull the onion, you're disturbing the soil, and I don't want to disturb what's growing next to it.
Right. So yeah, let's talk crop rotation.
Yeah, tell me your thing
Yes.
again, because I always forget it.
I know.
I need it like on a sign in my garden.
I know. That way when you're out there and you're distracted and you're just plugging plants
I'm always
in.
like, what? How does she say it? What can go here?
Okay, so it is legumes, roots, fruits, leaves.
Legumes,
Roots, fruits, leaves.
Okay, you know why I mess up?
Why?
Because I always think shoots.
Oh.
Like somebody does a podcast and it's roots and shoots or something
Roots
like
and
that.
shoots,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Shoots isn't in there.
So a large part of my garden this year was obviously tomatoes.
Fruits.
And so that's a fruit. And so it works out quite perfectly that leaves should come after fruits. And so your leafy things are going to include like your broccoli. That's actually a leaf. Cabbage, bok choy.
Any of your greens.
Any of your greens, any of your lettuces, spinach, right. And so, it's just kind of funny that it works out like that all of that cool season leafy stuff follows the fruits.
It's almost like we had a creative designer put that together for us.
Imagine that.
Almost. Okay, so legumes comes after leaves then. Like you close the cycle that way.
Yes. So after your leaves, you're going to cycle that back around with your legumes.
Next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so anywhere that you had roots in your summer garden. So what are some roots that we did for the summer garden? Peanuts.
Well, that's a legume.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
So I don't think we grow any roots in the summer here. I think north of us, you can probably get away with
Well,
some
I mean, we
things.
did potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after your potatoes.
And sweet potatoes?
Yeah.
Would you count sweet potatoes, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
So after your potatoes and your sweet potato are going to come your fruits. So that might be a good place.
What's a winter fruit?
Well,
I'm drawing a blank.
Fall, winter fruit stuff for us, is still cucumbers and tomatoes.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Where does squash fall into this?
It's a fruit.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Then you could do like a fall, winter squash. Like if you're in an area where you can't do another round of tomatoes or cucumbers, your fruit could be your squash.
Yeah. Okay.
After your roots.
Okay. Yeah, that's
And when in doubt, if you're ever like in doubt of like what to plant where, do legumes.
do legume, except for winter. Don't do
Except
that
for
in
winter. Yeah, you can't do that in winter. But
yeah, actually, as I expanded my garden this year and like finished out the last rows with new compost and got them planted, I found space.
ooh.
And yeah, so I kept asking some other garden friends, like, what would you put here? What would you put there? And it was always peanuts and beans.
Yeah.
Peanuts and beans. So
Yeah.
yeah, legumes. That's a good rule
Yeah.
to follow.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're, okay, so like maybe like you're in a little bit of a cooler climate and you don't have that long to harvest, you can still use that legume as a cover crop.
Right.
If you've got a 4-week window, you could definitely heavy seed it with that and get a cover crop out of it.
I think I'm most excited to grow root things, though, in the late fall into winter. Beets and radishes. I love radishes, but not in summer.
Yeah.
Like there's too much bite to them, and they're woody, and
Yeah.
they bolt and that. But I love them in the winter. And then even when we get a week of 80s, it's 80 degrees every day, and they want to bolt. I love those radish pods.
Yeah.
And then they
They're
grow
so
so
good.
fast, you can just keep throwing seed out all winter long.
Yeah.
And keep getting more radishes. Turnips, too.
Yes. Turnips. Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Those are really good. And they grow really easy too.
Yeah. If you think you don't like something like beets or turnips, because a lot of people think they don't like them, try to grow them one time.
Yeah.
And see if you like them fresh, because it's different.
And so that would be a root. So that would follow where you had your green beans.
Or your peanuts, yeah.
Yeah, for spring and summer. So lots of root stuff can go in. Carrots.
I need to get outside to the garden with a notebook.
Yeah.
And figure out a plan.
It would be helpful.
Yeah.
It's nice to kind of have a plan loosely
Kind of.
that you can maybe try to stick to.
Yeah, kind of. But then that again, it happens. I'm like, hey, I've got space.
Right.
What can I put in here?
Throw these seeds in here.
And then I get a little willy-nilly.
Yeah, it does.
I'm that gardener too, though. Like I'm the planned gardener, but then I'm also the carefree gardener.
Yeah.
Balance.
Balance.
Yin and yang. Right? Do you grow chard, like Swiss chard, in the fall?
You
or
know
do you
what?
wait till winter?
You know, I have tried to grow that a couple of times, and for whatever reason, it just doesn't do well for me.
It doesn't, my body doesn't like it.
No?
No, but I always try to grow it because it's pretty. And I'm like, I feel like I need it. It's good for you. But it makes my joints hurt.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. And it doesn't sit well with my stomach either. I think it's really high in oxalic acid acid. But like spinach doesn't bother me. And that is too, but I don't know. It makes my knees hurt.
Interesting. I wonder what it is.
I probably shouldn't even bother trying to grow it because my people don't care. Like greens are greens to them.
Right.
If, I'm cooking greens, it's greens. They don't care what it is. But I keep thinking, chard's so good for you. You should have it. But it is hard for me to grow. And it doesn't sit well with me. So maybe I just shouldn't bother with it. Breaking my own first rule that I always tell new gardeners is grow what you eat.
Grow what you eat.
Yeah, we really don't eat it.
Yeah. I know. I'm kind of finding that is so true with us with squash. Like every year I grow squash, but nobody really likes it.
Nobody likes it.
Except for scallop squash in the lemon garlic water bath can thing that I do. The pickled one. Yeah, that's really good. That's the only way anybody eats it. So I'm like, why am I even growing this? So
I love squash. I can't get enough of it in summer.
Really?
I love summer squash. Yeah.
Okay.
I will eat it 3 times a day. And which is weird because it doesn't really have a flavor.
Right.
But I think I like it because it's so versatile. So I can eat it raw, like with ranch or hummus.
Right.
I can saute it with onions and have fried eggs on top. I do that a lot. We can do stir fry. Like, I feel like it's versatile. I can do a lot with it. I can spiralize it and use it in place of pasta.
Right. Maybe I'm just not creative enough with cooking it.
You don't want to be.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really enjoy cooking at all.
No?
No. Not really.
That's a predicament to have when you're a homesteader.
I mean, I like to cook big meals.
Yeah.
But like day-to-day cooking, I don't really enjoy. I do enjoy it more in the summer, though, when I've got all the fresh stuff coming in from the garden.
I love cooking. I don't like being strapped to the kitchen, though.
Yeah.
And I don't like cleaning it up.
I mean, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's all this junk that comes with it.
Yeah, because anytime I'm cooking something, like it's a whole, like all the bowls are out.
Right.
I don't simply cook. And I don't know how to cook for just 4 people either. And now we find ourselves so often
cooking for less.
For just 2 of us.
I know. That's how, that's just like kind of a new season that we're in at my house too.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, well, we just have like me and you to cook for. We should definitely go out to eat.
All right. Right. I'm like leftovers again, right? You're good? Okay. Sure thing. All right. Well.
Yeah. So
I think that's all I've got. Maybe, except one last tip. In the fall garden, it still gets hot.
Shade cloth.
Shade cloth, exactly.
Yes, shade cloth. I mean, especially if you're in the South and it's hot. I started doing shade cloth in the garden 2 years ago, and that made a really big difference in like my broccolis and my cabbages. And Napa cabbage.
Oh, yeah.
My Napa cabbage did so good last fall and winter.
I need to write that down.
Is a for sure go-to. And green magic broccoli. I love that variety of broccoli.
Did it grow a big head?
No, it grows lots of little shoots, which I like.
I want the big head.
No, I like the shoots.
Okay. Mm-hmm. If you like the big head, Bellstar broccoli is good.
Bellstar.
It's a hybrid. I believe it's a hybrid. It might be an heirloom. I think it's a hybrid though, but Bellstar was my go-to. I just heard of another variety that a Florida grower I saw on YouTube is growing, and I need to go back and find it, but it was another recommendation by the University of Florida.
Okay.
And so I've had really good luck there.
Yeah.
Just not the garlic.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go to your local extension website and see what varieties they recommend for your area.
Yeah. Or, talk to other growers in your area,
Yeah.
who's having good luck with what?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe do a little land race.
I have been binging Lofthouse.
Yeah.
And his land race gardening. Yes.
Yeah. That is so cool.
He would be so cool to have on.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I
don't know. I might fangirl. All right. Well, good luck gardening, you guys. Don't forget we are on a break next week. And we will see y'all in 2 weeks.
All right. Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.